Welcome back to Keep It Glossy. Okay. I don't have anything to say. Let's just get started. All right. Welcome back to Keep It Glossy. Thanks for joining me tonight, guys. All right. So tonight I want to do like a fun, bold night look. And there's this color that's been on my mind, like this blue color that I just keep thinking about. So I was thinking like a black smoky eye with this blue. You just have to see it. It's going to be great. So the palette that we're going to use is Exotic Flavors by UCANBE. This is my absolute, well, one of my absolute favorite palettes to use. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we want to do, as always, is prime our face. Rub that in really good. And now we're going to get our eyes ready. To do that, I just take a little foundation on a brush and put some on our lids. Then I'm going to take a sponge and tap it onto our lids just like that. Now we're good to go. So let's go ahead with our first color. So the first color that we're going to use is a black. But if you have a lot of palettes like I do, you'll realize that even though colors look the same, they're not the same. And what I mean by that is you can have a black shadow on one palette, but then you get a different palette and the black shadow on that other palette is like darker or a tad bit lighter. So I want a really dark black, and I noticed that this Morphe JACLYN Hill palette called Dark Magic has a really deep dark black. This one right here. So we're going to use this black color, and it is called Temptress. So let's go ahead and grab our brush and get started. Okay, so we're gonna put some of that color on our brush just like this. Don't worry about taking too little. We could always add more on as we go. Okay, so we're gonna start on the outer, and we're just gonna start by tapping it on. And at this point, we want to gauge how high up we want to go. I want to go pretty high, I think. So let's stop right below our brow, like right here. I think will be good. So let's tap, tap, tap all the way up to there. So stop right there. Tap it on and start filling it in. And then we're going to swipe it over just like this. So tap, 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 and swoop it over. At this point, since I want this to be a little bit darker, we can go ahead and add some more shadow on our brush. Tap, 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 and swoop it over. Okay, so now that our black is on, you basically just want to make sure both your eyes are pretty even. This looks pretty good. It might look a little crazy right now, but like I always say, trust the process. Don't worry about any excess that's fallen. We're going to go ahead and clean that up after. So let's go ahead to our second color. All right, so now let's get the UCANBE Exotic Flavors palette. And we're going to go ahead with this blue right here. So I put a little primer water on a brush. And let's go ahead and put some on our brush and get started. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and fill in all the bare spots. So we can start on the inner and go into the black. So let's go ahead and start on our inner. Define our line so it looks clean. And go into that black. Just like this. And just fill it in. All right, this is looking really good. So now we want to see if we want to define some of the colors a little bit more. I think I'm going to actually define the black a little bit more, and then I'm going to clean up any excess. So you could do the same, and then I'll be back. Okay, this is looking great. So let's move on with everything else. Okay, so now we're going to do our brows, lashes, and waterline. So first, let's go ahead and do our brows. So I brush them just like this, get all the hairs in line. And then I start at the beginning and just go in an upward motion. And I'm just filling in any bare spots that I might see. Just like this, in an upward motion. And I'm going to do that all the way to the end of the brow. And also still trying to keep within the shape that my brow is. Okay, now that our brows are done, we're going to take our Tule and we're going to get our lashes in line. If you have lash extensions like me, do this step. If you have falsies, put those on now. If you just use mascara, go ahead and put that on. But I'm just going to make sure all of my lashes are in line, just like this. Gently, because you don't want any to fall. Okay, next we're going to do our waterline. So I'm going to go ahead and press down, and we're going to go all the way over to the end, just like this. One extra step I also do is I take a brush like this. I'm going to take that black shadow, put some of that on my brush, and go over my waterline. That way, any spots that I missed are going to be covered. So I just start at the beginning, the inner, and go right over the liner, all the way to the end. Okay, so this is looking good. So next step we're going to do is our foundation. If you have concealer that you put on first, go ahead and put that on. So I'm going to take a brush and my foundation, and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth. So let's go ahead and put some on our brush. And then I just tap the spots that I'm going to be putting the foundation on, just like that. And then I'm just going to gently paint it on. That's what I called it because that's what it reminds me of. And I'm going to do this all over until my whole face is completely covered. All right, so now we're gonna go ahead and do our blush. So I have this Milani Supercharged Cheek and Lip Multi-Stick. Y'all know how I love this. So I'm going to really try this time to not overdo it, okay? So let's go ahead and put this on. So you're just gonna tap a little bit because a little bit is all you need. Okay, I learned my lesson twice. So I'm just gonna tap it on here. That's good. Get our blush brush. I love saying that. Just like this. And boom. I felt I needed a little bit more, and I don't want to hear y'all say nothing about it, okay? But yeah, here we go. One minute. See, it always comes out good. So let's go ahead and pick a lip color. Okay, so for my lip color, I'm going to be using Revlon. Their number 043 Midnight Mystery. And it's this black right here. I wanted to do a bold color. I know some people aren't crazy about like using the color black. They're hesitant, like, will it look good, will it not look good? So at this point, you can choose whatever lip color you prefer. If you want to use black and go for it, do it. If you don't want to, that's totally fine. Do whatever's in your comfort zone. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on, and then I'll be back with the finished look. And here is your finished look. Well, thanks so much for joining me tonight, and always remember, keep it glossy. Mwah.